Live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber. Stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber. She's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber. Cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, secrets to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine game. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes the talk of the town. It's Amber Live tonight. The music starts playing. It's time for cabaret on Amber Live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday after Thanksgiving and happy Hanukkah to all of our friends out there as well. Oh my goodness, do we have a great show for you tonight? But you know what? First, let's do headlines. Hi, Russell. I'm having a little technical difficulty here with headlines. Let me see if I can bring that up one more time. No, I can't. So let's just bring you in, and we'll see if we can fix that later on. Sorry about that.
Hey, Amber.
Hey, Russell. Oh, maybe it's too much turkey or something. I don't know, but I couldn't get that to come up.
Are you asleep on the job again?
Well, no, we were having technical difficulties to get started, and I think that kind of screwed things up a bit. So don't know why that is happening there. Oh, that's why. That's why. If we want to go, let me see if I can do it here. Yes, I can. So if you want to go ahead and start the headlines one more time.
Here's the headlines again.
Well, hello there. Now, if you're watching now, that means you survived not only Thanksgiving with whomever you had to spend it with, but also Black Friday, the deadliest shopping day of the year. Maybe you didn't go shopping on Friday. Smart move. Or maybe you live in a civilized area of the country where people know how to behave in public. No, wait. So there's no place in our country where people know how to behave in public. Maybe you were just lucky. Now, those visiting the streets of South Point Shopping Mall in Durham, North Carolina, weren't so lucky. 3 people were shot and several others injured in the ensuing chaos. Authorities reassured the public that they were certain the incident was absolutely not a planned attack and said that there were no future threats to the public. Isn't that reassuring? So it wasn't planned. The person who did the shooting had no intention of using the gun he was carrying. Planned or not, it's frightening. Meanwhile, at the Tacoma Mall in Seattle, Washington, one person was injured in a shooting that happened in the shopping plaza's food court. What? Did Aunt Anne run out of pretzels? Again, people were injured in the mayhem after the shots were fired and were held in place in whichever store they happened to be in at the time. Now, if it was me, I'd hope the store would have been Spencer's Gifts. Remember going in there and heading directly to the dirty stuff? I do. Now, someone who was doing some shopping last week was Vice President Kamala Harris. Harris was in France to attempt to smooth over relations between our two countries. While there, she added to the French economy by spending over $500 on cookware. No problem, right? Well, the Republicans said, blah, 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 outrage, blah, blah, blah. Even though it was pointed out that Harris is an accomplished home cooker, what she brought was of high quality and will last forever, and comparison items bought in the United States would cost much more. Blah, 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 outrage, blah, blah, blah. And I don't recall the blah, blah, blah when former Third Lady Melania, in her last appearance in Washington, sported a handbag with an estimated price tag of $50,000 to $75,000. Now that's an outrage. And that's this week's headlines. There we go. So Russell, come back in.
Hey, Amber.
Hey, hello again.
Long time no see.
Yes. All right. So Russell, how are things in New York City tonight?
Things are very nice in New York City. It was a little gray today on and off, but I had a pretty relaxing day. I see Leah there was asking if you spilled your vodka on your computer tonight.
Leah's our troublemaker from Newfoundland that like to chime in on things.
She does. It's probably Screech.
Yeah. Before I forget, I want to say happy birthday to Big J, Josh Beaupre. His birthday was yesterday, and he's one of our biggest fans. He's here every week, and he's on Wednesday night's chat session. So happy birthday, Josh. I hope it was a good one.
Agreed. So
yes. Okay, Russell. So I know we've got some new viewers tonight. So tell them how to watch the show, the best quality.
Well, the best place to watch is on YouTube. It's youtube.com/AmberLive. And the reason we recommend watching there is because on YouTube, the show is in full HD. So that's the best place to watch. But you can find us on Twitch, on Facebook, on Twitter. We are just all over the place. And I do want to remind people that we have a TikTok channel, and the TikTok channel has over 13,000 followers now, and we recommend that you all log in there because we put a lot of stuff up there that you won't see here on the show. So you get clips from the show, but you also get some original stuff there. So,
like Amber's thought of the day.
Every day she thinks, who knew?
Yes.
Who knew?
Yeah, so that's a lot of fun as well. Yeah, I mentioned Amber Chat early. So you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get reminded that every Wednesday, or we didn't do it last Wednesday, but every Wednesday we do Amber Chat from like 8:15 to 9:15. Russell and I get on and we just talk about anything. Usually, what did you have for dinner? What TV shows have you watched? But we have people from all over the world chiming in. I mean, we have Newfoundland, we have England, we've had Australia, we've had all over the United States,
Japan.
Japan. That's right. That the other week we had Japan. They find us and they just like to talk and listen to us for some reason. But we have a great time. So Wednesday nights, Amber Chat. So come on in. And now, Russell, your favorite part right now.
Yes, I do want to reach out and say thank you to all our bustiers, and the bustiers are the people that help keep this show going and growing. And we have our super bustiers who have gone above and beyond to help us. We have the regular bustiers. If you'd like to be a bustier, you can send us a tip at Venmo at RJD Pro, or you can go to the website and look for the Support Amber Live button and use your credit card there. And if you'd like to give $25 or more, we'll send you an Amber Live sticker. For $100 or more, you get a sticker and a magnet. And for $200 or more, you'll get a sticker, a magnet, and one of those beautiful Amber Live mugs. And recently, we've been using some of the bustier money to help upgrade our technology. Some of our bustiers have really helped out with that, and it's a big help. We have a new computer coming to help me solve my freezing issues when they happen.
Yes. Looking at that list, that just verifies how many people watch the show, because looking at that bustier list, we had people there from Florida, Tennessee, California, New York, Ohio, Illinois, just all over the country, giving us some money to support it. So thank you.
And it really is important, and it's helped us grow to the point where we're getting amazing guests like the Beatles experts we had a couple weeks ago. I know the Beatles documentary just came out. You can go back and see that one. We had Carol Baskin from Tiger King. We've had several of the RuPaul Drag Race alumni. We've had 2 different lieutenant governors on the show, and that's thanks to all of your support. So thank you very much.
And last week's Thanksgiving show, that was such a nice show of Thanksgiving from Beaver Pond. I really enjoyed that as well.
That was a great show.
That was a lot of fun. All right, so one of the things we do every week is our caption part. And do you have a caption for this week or a picture?
I do have one, thanks to our friend Janet. Here it is. If you have a funny caption for this photo, please send it in to Jack in the comments, label it as a caption, and later on in the show, we'll be talking about that. So there's the photo of the week.
Oh, I know we have a lot of cat fanciers watching, so I'm sure there should be some good ones. All right. So what do we have coming up on the show tonight?
Tonight, well, we have lots coming up in the show tonight, but our main guest for the night is James Lantz, who is a playwright and filmmaker and has just an incredible story to share with you, Amber. And I think you're going to have lots of great questions for him. So.
Oh, yes. James is a lot of fun. I've known James for many, many years. We have things to talk about.
Oh, I bet you do.
And what else is happening? We've got last week we debuted our new video of song called Sweaty Balls, and we're going to talk to the director, producer, videographer, and the not the lyricist, but the music maker of that video as well. Jack's going to talk to us about how he put that all together. We're going to show it again too, so stick around for some sweaty balls.
All right. And and Leah says thanks for popping into her birthday party last week. So you're welcome, Leah.
We had fun. Yes. Joshua Pittman, another person from Newfoundland, wants to know about a Christmas show. We're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. All right, Russell, let's get on with the show.
All right. Have a great show.
Well, thank you. I think our technical difficulties are out of the way. I hope so. So, yes, our first guest is James Lantz, and last week he debuted his new documentary, and here's the trailer.
What it feels like is that you wanted it to last 10 years.
Because I thought I was going to lose. You're not fucking listening, Jim. You're not listening. You're being cynical and you're barely listening. You're not listening.
In this corner, Chick-fil-A, a fast food corporation with more than 1,500 locations and annual sales totaling more than $3.5 billion. In this corner, Bo Muller-Moore, a guy in Vermont who makes T-shirts in his garage.
There you go, folks. Eat More Kale shirt.
What in the world are they doing this for?
The idea that you can't use Eat More Kale on a t-shirt because somebody else has registered Eat More Chicken is crazy.
So have we come to the point that we allow people to own a specific word?
When you're dealing in a situation where attorneys are being paid by the hour, as long as they can drag things out, as long as the pot can be stirred, somebody's going to make money.
On the 10-year anniversary of the Eat More Kale versus Chick-fil-A saga comes the documentary tale about a partially true, sometimes misleading, shaggy dog story from Vermont that was seen by millions and moved over 100,000 people to do something to support a T-shirt artist known as Bo the Eat More Kale guy.
I would like a little of that. How am I going to handle this?
It's a big pond, and there are a lot of people in the United States, and not everybody's heard of this.
Look at me. Look at me. I got a song and dance for you. Chick-fil-A said, don't do it. And I said, fuck you. And she's got my balls in her hand. Yeah. She's the one. I will sell $1 million worth of Eat More Kale shirts in the near future.
So let's bring in the writer, director, and producer of that documentary, James Lantz. James, come on in. Hi, James.
Amber, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. It's good to see you, friend. All right.
Good
so
to see you too.
We're going to talk about that documentary because there's a lot to talk about. But
Yeah.
I want to get a little more background to what were you doing before you started making films, and tell particularly about writing plays. I'd like to hear about that.
Sure. Well, I started out in Virginia in the Shenandoah Valley, and I got a teaching degree, and I taught, I have a very agricultural background, so I taught agriculture in high schools in the Shenandoah Valley for 4 years, very conservative, very small town, Virginia, and when I met my wife, we decided, you know what, it's time for us to move on, and we moved north, moved to New York City, lived there for a few years, and I had caught the film bug beforehand, and the playwriting bug beforehand, and had started doing some writing, and then we moved to Vermont and established our family here, and it's been gosh, I guess we've been here over 20 years now, and it's been a great place. We've been really lucky.
So why Vermont? What prompted you to move to Vermont?
We were living in New York City. It was right before 9/11 happened, and we had 2 young kids. And New York was a hard place to raise young children, schlepping them on and off of subways. There were days we would take our kids to school, and the subway was so crowded, we'd hold their hands, and you couldn't see them because we knew we had them because we had their hand, but it was just really crowded, and so it just felt like it was time to move on. It's expensive, and so we opened up a map and we said, where are we going next? And my wife had been to Vermont before, and she said, well, what about Vermont? And we came up here and we found a great community, and we haven't looked back, not once.
So you did write a play and called The Bus.
The Bus,
and
yes.
The Bus. Tell me about The Bus. What prompted you writing it, and then what happened with the production?
Well, that's the first play that we did up here, and I ran into a talented theater artist here. I think you might know him, Seth Jarvis.
He's directed me, yes.
Yeah, Seth is great. He's great. So we got to talking, and I had this idea for a play, and the reason that I had the idea is that at that time we had a family member who was having some struggles around sexuality and things like that, and we wanted to be as supportive and as helpful with that as we could, and I got to thinking, like, well, gosh, how would this have been different if this had all happened in Virginia, where I grew up? And I think it would have happened very differently. And that's where The Bus came out of. I come from a very conservative area in Virginia. It's a beautiful place, but they're very conservative. And so that's where it came from. It came from that seed of thinking, like, well, how would this have looked differently elsewhere? And it was called The Bus. It was about 2 gay teens sharing a budding relationship in a church bus, and that was kind of fascinating to me, that this thing that was new and was precious and pure and beautiful was happening inside this institution that frowned upon it, and what would that look like? And we pulled it off here in Burlington. We had a great cast. Yes, Seth directed the play, and we had so supportive audiences. Dennis McSorley, who I still work with as an actor, was in the play. Ben Van Buren and Colin Kramer played the 2 kids. It was a blast. It really was. And I dare say I don't think that that I've ever had a more fulfilling art experience than that. It was just extraordinary. The community really welcomed the play, welcomed us. It was fun. It was extraordinary.
What happened, though, after you performed it here in Vermont? That's the big story.
Well, yeah. Well, then I started sending it out, and we got interest from people, around the world and around, So we ended up taking a different version of it off Broadway to a theater called 59E59, and basically the same story, but it was retooled a little bit. And a talented director by the name of John Simpkins put it on there, and we had a great cast. And that cast is still doing great things. Will Rowland, who is one of the actors in that play, is now on Broadway regularly. He was in Dear Evan Hansen and a couple of other Broadway plays. So we're really proud of him. And
you took it on the road to Kansas.
Yep, we took it to Kansas too, yeah. And so first we played at 59E59, but then we took it to Kansas and played it in, like, literally within blocks of the Westboro Baptist Church. And that was just extraordinary. We played in the bottom of a church called the MCC Church. It was in this in this church basement. We didn't have any theater lights, and so we lit it all with candles. And the community came. We probably had an audience of like 250 people. And it was just, again, the most beautiful thing. And we had one gentleman who, I swear to God, Amber, he cried 3/4 of the way through the play. It was just, I could see him, and he was just bawling during the whole thing. And it could have been
his story. It could
have been. And so we we took the cast and crew by the Westboro Baptist Church and waved to them. And actually too, we had Nate. I can't remember his last name. It was the church's name. But one of the children from the Westboro Baptist Church introduced us to the community. He had broken from the church, and it was just an extraordinary thing. And so we took a van out. We took the whole set that we played off Broadway, and then we came home, and it was just a really good thing. And then I guess the news got out, and so the play has played. It played in South Africa. It's played in London. It's played a couple of places around the world.
How exciting. Exciting. And for those who may not remember, the Westboro Baptist Church, they're the ones who go all over the country saying God hates fags.
Right,
at funerals and all that stuff.
At the time, they were really visible. They were really out there. And that really pissed me off, you know? It's just such an awful, evil thing. And it just pissed me off. And I just thought, how can we get attention for this? How can we really stick it to them, you know, as best we can? So that's what we did.
Well, very good. All right, we're going to take a little break here, then we'll come back and we'll talk about the Kale documentary. James,
absolutely.
Stay right where you are.
All right, thank you.
Yes. All right. Yes, we have more. We're going to talk about the Kale documentary. A lot of twists and turns on that. But first, people have been saying, what's Rusty Peen been up to? And you know what? I'm not sure, but let's find out.
Thinking and drinking with Rusty Peen.
Good, welcome to another edition of Thinking and Drinking. I'm Rusty Peen, president of the Beaver Pond Guns and Tackle Society. And our mission is to arm more drag queens because a loaded drag queen is a safe drag queen, don't you know? Good. A lot of people have been saying they can't understand what I'm saying half the time. Dude, hey, my fault, I'm from Vermont and shit. Anyway, dude, Amber and Russell took some of that money you've been sending in to the show, and they got me language lessons with Cousin Crystal. She's a good teacher. She teaches electrocution lessons so that I can speak and be spoken to. Here we go, dude. Check it out, y'all.
Rusty Peen.
Cousin Crystal.
I am so glad that you finally made your way over to my trailer so that I can help you with your elocution and diction.
About electrocution and how many colors are it, bud, huh?
I agree completely. But your topics on Amber Live are so interesting, and no one can understand a word that you're saying. I have some tricks. We're going to fix you right up. Now, first, let me put on my actressing beret.
Okay, bud. Electrocute me.
The Beaver Pond Pork Byproduct Processing Plant.
The Beaver Pond Pork Byproduct Processing Plant.
Again. The Beaver Pond Pork Byproduct Processing Plant.
The Beaver Pond Pork Byproduct Processing Plant. Dude, I think I got it. He ain't got it.
The Beaver Pond Pork Byproduct Processing Plant. Now, where do they render the pork?
At a plant. At a plant.
And what do they make at the plant?
Byproducts! Byproducts!
Oh, this isn't working at all. Let's try another one. In Hardwick, Hanover, and Hancock, hand jobs hardly ever happen.
Dude, that's unfortunate.
Let's try a trick. Oh, I have a trick from my dear friend Demosthenes. Oh, Demosthenes Leclerc. He was such a great orator. He owned the largest auction house at Beaver Corners. You bring it in and he could sell it. To help him with his elocution and diction, he put pebbles in his mouth. Now, I don't have any pebbles around since they finally blacktopped up here to my end of the trailer park, but I think I do have some, I have some pop rocks left over from Halloween. Here, Rusty, put those in your mouth.
Okay,
Good. Now, tell me what your topic is on this week's Amber Live.
Fireball! Drunk kicking the fucker in the fucking throat, bud, you know?
Russell, I think we still need subtitles.
Dude, a lot of that shit's hard to say, dude. Fucking Beaver Pond, Pork Bike, Breakfast. Oh, dude. Yeah, there it is. I see it now. Well, dude, win some, lose some. Happy Peen used to say, Rusty, can't win them all. If you could, you wouldn't be here. No, this is about thinking, drinking with Rusty Peen. I'm Rusty Peen, and I'm Rusty Peen.
Thinking and drinking with Rusty Peen.
So that's what Rusty's been up to. He's trying to improve himself. Now, isn't that nice? And thank you, Cousin Crystal, for assisting. Maybe we should spring for a few more lessons. So let's bring James back in. All right, James.
I enjoyed that. That was fun.
Yes.
I think I know Cousin Crystal. She taught me. She taught me like electrician. Yeah, I can't say it well.
She's given some great actressing lessons in Beaver Pond, so that's she's good at that. Yes. All right, James. So how did you decide to make a documentary about Eat More Kale?
Well, we had just finished the bus in New York City, and we had this great run. And at the time, Chick-fil-A, it had come out publicly that they were funding anti-gay organizations. So there was this big uproar. And on top of that, in Vermont, we understood that there was a public drama dealing with the Eat More Kale T-shirt and the logo that we see, the sticker that we see all over the state. And they were connected. And I thought, well, gosh, that's really interesting. And it was a story that kind of hit the airwaves, went all around the country. And so we got off the play, and I thought, well, gosh, what's the next thing on the agenda? What are we going to do now? And it just seemed really interesting that this public drama, this cease and desist letter that Chick-fil-A had sent to the Eat More Kale guy, saying that in their cease and desist letter, they said that they had the trademark for Eat More Chicken, and according to all the publicity out there, they were saying that Bo, the Eat More Kale guy, could no longer make Eat More Kale T-shirts. And so we followed that publicity, and it just sounded like a great story to start out with. And so I knocked on Bo's door. Actually, I sent him an email, and we met together on New Year's Eve on 2000, or actually it was New Year's Day, 2012. We sat on a couple of plastic buckets in his studio. He had the heat turned off, so it was cold, and we were both blowing hot air steam. And it was so much steam. I remember it was like we were smoking something. And Bo, I found Bo to be an incredible storyteller. He was affable. He was enjoyable. He made me laugh. And the camera loved him. He really did. I mean, he really has a presence in front of the camera. And so we decided that we were going to raise money on Kickstarter to make a documentary about what Chick-fil-A had sent him, the cease and desist letter, and what Bo was going to do in defiance of that. And we named it A Defiant Dude, and and that's where it all started. And we raised close to $90,000 on Kickstarter to make this documentary.
I gave some.
Oh my gosh, Amber, you're one of the people that I owe an incredible bit of gratitude for. And you know what? A lot of people gave. We had over 2,000 backers, and some famous backers. You know, people like Neil Gaiman, the writer, other people, Jackson Brown, the Zevon family. You know, I mean, we had some really incredible people, and Amber LeMay. You know,
That's right. Yes, yes.
Right at the top of the list there. So,
and there was a picture of Bob wearing the Eat More Kale shirt on Bourbon Street.
Absolutely. I've got it right there.
I was trying to find it today and I couldn't find it. I was
yeah. I've got it. If you ever want it, I've got it. So
okay, great.
But so we started.
Great story. You know, big corporations coming after the small guy, Vermont, Kale.
Absolutely.
It had everything. And you were going for it, going for the little guy. And then all of a sudden, something happened. What happened?
Well, the story, let's just say that the story was a lot more complicated than what was being portrayed in the media, and being portrayed on social media. And it was a complicated issue. First of all, trademarks are crazy complicated. It's insane. It's like any kind of intellectual property law. But on top of that, there was a big question as to how aggressive Chick-fil-A was being toward Bo and how long they were being that aggressive. And Bo, like the shrewd businessman that he is, and I and there's nothing wrong with being a shrewd small businessman at all. To quote him, he made lemonade out of lemons, and he made a lot of lemonade.
Yes, he did.
According to Bo. Now, everything that I get is from Bo, and that's what, but according to Bo, he did really, really well. And the story stretched out. It kept stretching and stretching and stretching. And so a lot of things didn't stack up. And quite honestly, it turned out that Bo was what's termed in some writing circles as an unreliable narrator of his own story. He was an unreliable narrator of his own story. And he's a great salesman, a great pitch man, and again, a guy you really like, you want to like. He's in the documentary, we call him at point a likable trickster, but he also took a lot of that to the bank. And so the documentary just tells that story as honestly as we can. I mean, as honestly as much truth is out there. So
it's a great homey story about the Vermont part of it.
Oh, it is
definitely that, but fascinating about all these other companies that are suing these small businesses for using their names, like Entrepreneur Magazine suing these people who use like Entrepreneur in their title or
in anything, or Virgin. The one that really pisses me off is Virgin. One of the richest people on the planet, so rich that he can build a spaceship that goes into that goes into space. Virgin Atlantic. Richard Branson essentially has locked up the word virgin. There if you want to use the word virgin in any kind of business context, boy, you got to get past Richard Branson first. And so the little tiny apparel store in New York City called themselves Virgin Thread, and the Virgin Empire, which is also a foreign company.
That's sued
them, and they ended up shutting down. And that's wrong. That is just wrong. It's another thing that gets my blood going. It's just totally wrong.
Well, we call ourselves Amber Live. Could someone who has the word live, come after us? Come after us. James will make a documentary about it.
Yeah, I mean, people are locking up the English language, and that's a potentially scary thing.
Now there are two things that I'm a political animal. I like to delve into politics. There were two things where many times Senator Patrick Leahy said, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And he proposed a bill. Well, the bill didn't pass. And then due to your reporting or your documentary reporting, all of a sudden you realize that he got $70,000 in contribution. $700,000 campaign contributions from the trademark people.
Yeah.
Who had never gotten any money before. And all of a sudden it just disappeared.
Because Vermont was playing a huge role in the trademark bullying issue. And the trademark industry, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, did a lot to suppress that issue out in the public. And Senator Leahy was leading that charge. It wasn't just the Eat More Kale guy. It was also the Vermonster story.
Yes,
yes. A small brewery up in Morrisville, Matt Nadeau and his wife, Nadine, started a brewery, Rocco Brewery. They made a beer called Monster, and then they got sued by back up. They didn't get sued. They got sent a cease and desist letter by Monster, the folks that make Monster energy drinks. So those three issues, the Eat More Kale issue and the Vermonster issue and Senator Leahy's legislation to study the issue of trademark bullying, really put Vermont on the map with regard to this issue. And a lot of people were gunning for Vermont.
Your documentary debuted last week here in Burlington. What's the future? Where can people see it?
Well, we'll see. It debuted at Main Street Landing.
Yes.
We had a great crowd. Bo came and we had a Q&A afterwards, which I'm really grateful that he came and did that Q&A. And so we'll see. We've got a couple of potential interested parties in terms of exhibition. You saw the film. It's long.
Yes.
So we're trying to cut it down. It's like 2 hours and 14 minutes, and the goal is to get it down to about 90 minutes. And so I still need to be working on it, and then hopefully it'll run on PBS or Netflix or someplace like that. So we'll see.
Well, James, thank you so much. It was fascinating, and congratulations. What's your next project?
We have a short film that we're finishing up. We shot during the pandemic with Dennis McSorley and Oscar Williams. Patrick Kennedy in the Northeast Kingdom shot it. It's called A Juddering. And it's a 20-minute short film, and I'm so excited for folks to see it.
And we didn't even touch the subject of you were battling cancer through all of this, too.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. That's another show, maybe. But yeah, absolutely. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
James,
my hat goes off to anybody battling that awful, awful disease. Oof.
Well, James, congratulations on the film and battling the cancer. And I can't wait to hear more about your future products. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Amber. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. Fascinating. I forgot to bring that up because he was immobile for a long period of time editing the film. It's great. When it comes out, you got to go see it. Russell, come on in. Russell. I could have talked to him for another hour.
Well, maybe we'll have a second show with him.
I'm having trouble hearing you. You're making funny noises on me.
Jack always sound. Jack says thumbs down. That's weird. Hang on one second.
Well, we're having some bugaboos tonight. All right. Well, that's too bad. So anyway, we'll go into my next segment here. Is that Oh, it's about Jack. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to show our video of Sweaty Balls. So, Jack, can you show it? Do you have access to it? All right, Jack.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, there you are.
All right. Great. I don't know what's going on. We got gremlins tonight.
My goodness. All right, so we've got more to come. We're going to talk about Sweaty Balls. We're going to show Sweaty Balls, and we're going to talk to Jack about that. Then we've got Tom Messner retired last week, and I've got some Tom Messner memories that I want to share with people. And then we have Rocco, and we've got the caption. I don't want to say contest, but caption picture there.
Yes, if you've got a great caption, send that one in for Jack, and when we do bring him on at the end of the show, he'll be happy to talk all about it.
Yes, he will. All right, one more plug for the Bustiers.
Yes, let's not forget the Bustiers, the people that help us do this every week. And you can become a Bustier using Venmo at RJD Pro or the Support Amber Live button on our website. And we do appreciate all of them very, very much because it's important to us to keep this going.
Russell, how many shows is this? Is this 85 or something like
this
that?
This is 86, I believe. Tonight.
86 shows we've done since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Week after week after week.
Yes, we do. Yes.
What a journey.
Do. All right. And you have one more plug for our sponsors.
Yes, we do have a word from our sponsor.
Hey, it's Lucy Bell. Have you visited the Amber Live store to get your own amazing Amber Live merch? Just visit amberlive.tv and you can see all the incredible items we have for you. Regular coffee mugs, large coffee mugs, and even magic coffee mugs. T-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, tote bags, and even beach towels. Y'all, they make great gifts for your friends. I've got mine. Just visit the Amber store at amberlive.tv and order yours today.
Thank you, Lucy Bell. You know, Lucy Bell has a segment that she does periodically on the show called Bitchin' in the Kitchen. She should have had some kale recipes tonight. Work on that, girl. All right. So let's show for the second time Sweaty Balls.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beaver Pond Players proudly present Sweaty Balls.
Balls, 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 sweaty balls, 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 sweaty.
We love to walk the streets of town on hot and muggy nights. Our faces never with a frown, those glorious summer sights. For when the air is sticky, it affects men old and young. For things start churning quickly, and all appear to be hung. It's a very manly condition, one that we so admire. An almost certain aspiration that sets our loins on fire. Balls,
balls, sweaty
balls, sweaty balls, sweaty balls. How we love those sweaty balls, sweaty balls, sweaty balls. How we love those sweaty balls. I love the man who winds his stance, his scrotum isn't tight. I get to see his balls dance to the left and to the right. With his hands inside his pockets, I'll watch him tug and tug. It's almost like he's scratching at a bug. The scratch may start above the belt, but lower down the itch is felt. When they swing both to and fro, it's proof he's going commando. Balls.
sweaty
balls, sweaty balls, sweaty balls. How we love those sweaty balls, sweaty balls, sweaty balls. How we love those sweaty balls. The problem isn't shrinkage, the opposite is true. Osmosis is so present, I took biology too. The small ones get humongous, the bigger ones get grand. If they'd only stop to let us, we'd give them all a hand. So that's our sordid story, we swear it all is true. So when you go out walking, we'll be looking out for you and your balls.
Sweaty
balls, sweaty balls, sweaty balls. How we love those sweaty balls, sweaty balls, sweaty balls. How we love those sweaty balls, sweaty balls, sweaty balls. How we love those sweaty balls, sweaty balls, sweaty balls. How we love those sweaty balls, sweaty balls, 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 sweaty balls.
That's balls, folks.
Oh, Jack, come on in.
Here I am.
Jack, congratulations. That
Thank you,
is so
Amber.
super. So I'm curious. I wrote that maybe 15, maybe 20 years ago, performed it once, and then put it aside and never did anything. And then a couple of months ago, I sent it to you. And what did you think when you got those words?
Well, I saw the one and only performance that had happened about a decade or so ago. You
were there.
I was there at that LeMay show, and I remember you had a ukulele in hand and made it through that crazy song. I don't remember how it went at the time, but when you sent me the lyrics, I just read them, and immediately I thought of the melody for it, because you asked, I've got these lyrics, can you think of a melody? And I'm like, oh yeah, I can do something with that.
How long did it take you to put the song together? Just not the video, but just the melody and the words and everything.
Well, looking at the page and then structuring the chords was a very quick process. And that one, it came, it just sort of, it sang to me, Amber. Your lyrics sang to me, and I was able to structure the chords. I'm like, all right, well, this verse part is happening here in a minor key, and then I can flip that and in the chorus turn that into the major key. So the verse happens in F minor, the chorus happens in F major. And then as far as getting the recording done, that was all done in GarageBand. I'm doing all of the vocal background pieces. There's about 5 different vocal parts. There's a low, a middle, a high harmony, and then there's a higher one on top of that. And then there's the falsetto, and each one of those parts has 6 to 8 vocal tracks. So we're talking about 30 to 40 background voices.
And the actual only voices that are heard are yours and mine. Is that correct?
Yep. You're doing the lead, and I'm doing all of the background stuff.
Fascinating. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your musical history. Where did you learn to write and put all that together? How do you do that?
Just by thinking about chords a lot. I know music, and I used to just sort of try to put myself to sleep by thinking about scales, and just I have a hard time sleeping. So I'm like, well, what's the most boring thing I can think of? And the answer is just really complicated music theory. And along the way, I've played guitar for several in orchestras for lyric theater shows and for other shows as well, both in Vermont and in New York. My first gig when I came to New York was playing guitar for an off-Broadway production of Rockabye Hamlet, a rock opera about Hamlet.
How did you come about the ideas for? You visualized the video. I mean, you directed it, you choreographed it, and how did you think? Okay, how do I put this on video?
There were a couple of things that I thought about. Well, one was wanting to do both indoor and outdoor shots, and everything that you see is in fact scripted. There's nothing that really is, well, what if we just sort of imagine that we did that? So I just wrote a 6-page script based on the lyrics and based on the music that I had already written, and figured out, well, we need to have some choreography for some sort of a kick line, because everybody loves a kick line. So this is just
how I figured out how to do the choreography and what it could possibly and potentially look like. And I want to give a really big shout out to John and Marianne Gravel and also Matt Benedetto for helping to lend props to this video.
Yes.
Matt Benedetto, he has the unnecessary inventions, of course, and he lent us the corn, the cob quickie, I think it's called. I call it the corn butterer, but it's the oversized hand for buttering corn. And the Gravels, they lent us the cones and their grandchildren's balls, the softballs and volleyballs. So I was sort of hoarding them like a dragon for a few days, and I guess the grandkids just had to read books.
No, we had it was a Saturday afternoon here in Burlington. We were out at our friend Cindy and Bones' house for the outdoor shots. Then we came over here to my studio and did the indoor with the green screen. And it was just a great day. You were well prepared, and it was fun. we laughed a lot.
As you know, summers in particular in Vermont are very precious, and it was a really otherwise pretty beautiful day. So I really wanted to just make good use of everyone's time and not feel like, well, we could have been doing chores, and that would have been a better spent Saturday. So we did I feel like we started with the most difficult things at first and just eased our way into the more easier things. We started by doing the kick line choreography. Yes. I figured that would probably provide the most frustration, and it would be best to get that out of the way first so that we could do everything else. And after all, this is the joke that it is, Sweaty Balls, we're trying to make some high art here. And I'm going to name drop Georges Seurat, not just because Stephen Sondheim just died, but that middle section where, Belushi Bell's whacking you over the head with a croquet mallet, that was inspired by Georges Seurat, Sunday in the Park painting.
that was very, very good. Okay, so what's the next? Well, my dream is to have Bette Midler sing that song. I think it's just a Bette Midler song waiting to happen.
Well, we have to find her on TikTok somehow, and that's part of what all of this is good for. We really enjoy having people watch the show and comment in. I feel very sheepish sometimes when people say, "Oh, what are you up to?" I'm like, "Well, I just made this music video. What's it called?" "Oh, it's got a name." So, but I think that's we're in a good time to do that sort of thing. We don't really have to beat around the bush, as it were. So we can make a video and call it Sweaty Balls. But to try to get some more popularity, it helps by having people like and share and subscribe. And I know that we say that a lot, but it really does help to get more draw so that we can have Bette Midler or Cher or whomever do some sort of ballad version or a club remix or what have you.
What would you like to see happen? What would you like to see happen to the song?
I would love to see somebody turn it into some kind of dance remix, and if it gets played on a float at Pride, I think that's a good sign. So shoot for the moon, and if you miss, grab onto a star.
All right. Kind of what's some of your other projects you're working on, Jack?
I think I can talk about this. I can dodge around the details, but in broad strokes, I recently wrote a song for an independent film that is going to be shown soon. More than that, I can't provide details on that. I've recorded an EP with my band, Space Tenants, and that is going to be released in a couple of weeks.
Well, you know where you can show it. Right here.
Right
any
here,
Sunday night.
On Amber Live.
Yes, you have controls. You can just knock me off the screen and play whatever you want, actually.
I know. I'm doing this right now. I'm clicking on all the buttons.
All right. You've been pushing mine. Well, thank you, Jack. We'll have you back in a few minutes. But thank you so much. Great job with the song. Really appreciate it. All right. All right. So tired. After 31 years of telling us here in Vermont and upstate New York what we could expect weather-wise in his daily forecasts. Over the years, we would see Tom out and about at various events. Here he is stopping to talk to us during a zombie walk. Many times we saw him at the local Daisy Awards. I won't go into the story about one of the special Daisy Awards we saw him at. We were both guest celebrity waiters on the Ronald McDonald House, and I think this one may have been at a roller derby match. Now, the last time we saw each other was last month at Vermont City Marathon. As you can see, Tom was always smiling, always engaging, and always a gentleman. Have fun in your retirement, Tom, and may your forecast always be sunny. You know, he's one of the good guys in this world. 31 years, stayed here, and did a lot for the community. We love Tom Messner. Thank you, Tom, very much. All right. Do we have, is Rocco in the house tonight?
Hey, Amber, how you doing, everybody?
Hey, Rocco. Rocco,
how was your screen? You can see my face too easily.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. Guess what I ate?
Turkey.
How'd you guess that? That was such a random question, and you got it spot on.
Yep. Now Zamboni, that's Italian. Do you eat pasta at Thanksgiving as well?
Of course you do. That's course number 2. Course number 1, you got all the hors d'oeuvres and antipasto and this and that. Then you get the pasta. And then you say, oh, that was good. And if you got any guests over who've never been to an Italian meal before, they're like, that was a good dinner. Thank you. And they're like, wait, sit down. We're not done. And look at you. What do you mean we're not done? And then you bring out a turkey and stuffing and potatoes and all this stuff. And they're like, are you kidding me? What do you expect from me? It's fun to watch them freak out.
Oh, I'm sure it is. So what did you want to talk about this week?
Not much. I'm just kidding.
I was like, Rocco, help me out here.
No, you know, I've been thinking because I know you had the filmmaker on today, and I know Jack was talking about his sweaty balls again. Jesus, let it go. Use some talcum powder or something, all right? I'm still under the weather. I'm dying over here in more ways than one. But did I ever tell you about my history in some of the movies that I've done in the past?
No, Rocco. Share, please. Please share.
Yeah, that is mostly my acting stuff that I did. Like it spans way back to, you know, Burt Reynolds and I, we worked together.
Yeah?
You know, Cannonball Run, when they're all in the cars driving across country. I was the guy in the Pinto. You see me for a minute because they're flying by me. And of course, I'm going 32 miles an hour, top speed. And, you know, I'm looking out the windows going, hey, Tom. Nothing. But, you know, so that was one. That was a lot of fun. I think I did pretty good acting in that. I looked like a guy in a Pinto. And you ever see that movie Splash?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I was the guy who was in that warehouse packing fish. And I saw Daryl Hannah, and she's walking by, and I'm thinking, she smells like fish. Something's up with this one. She's not just some chick. She might be, you know, someone who came from the ocean or something. I mean, this was my, you know, internal character. I don't even know if I made the cut, but boy, did I have that thing down.
I bet.
I tell you. And the thing that sort of brought this all up, because I get a little weepy about it, but I was in the original Ghostbusters. You know that?
No.
Oh, yeah. I was one of the ghosts.
Which one?
That's a good question. The guy who gets in the cab. Anyway, I wore a lot of makeup for that one, so you didn't really know it was me. But I kind of gave a little wink. So my mother would be like, hey, there's Rocco. He's that ghost in the cab. So I got a little weepy when the new movie came out. Did you see it?
I haven't yet. I haven't.
I'm telling you, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic sequel. All right?
Is it good for your nephews and nieces?
It is. There might be some parts that might be like, what are you doing bringing us to this? No, I'm not going to sleep tonight. That's their problem. They'll enjoy 98% of it. The other 2%, I'll bring some baby wipes for the diaper and stuff. But it's great. I'm telling you. This is, I mean, I got a long history in film. I worked with Harold Ramis in Groundhog Day. I was the guy who kept walking back and forth every single day. You don't remember me in that one? I did so good.
I don't. I've got to watch all of these and say, I know him. I know
I
him.
was pedestrian number 17.
Number 17.
Yeah. Uncredited, but that's besides the point. I made myself a character.
So are you still active? I mean, do you still have an agent?
I never had an agent. I just show up and do it.
You say you're supposed
Somebody
to be here.
says, hey, they're making a movie. I said, I'm in it. I'm going down. I'm going to be in that thing.
You worm your way through and just say, here I am.
I'm saying, Rocco's here. You know you want me in your movie because your sales are going to go way up. And they're like, oh, yeah, Rocco, hey, how you doing? Go over there in the corner and stand. Don't pick your nose this time. I'm like, hey, that was one time. Give me a break. I get a reputation, I guess. I don't know.
So you've been an extra in the movies. Do you have hopes of producing your own movies or perhaps starring in one?
Oh, well, I was in a movie, but the damn director still hasn't finished the damn thing. It's called Death's a Bitch. We've talked about it before.
That's right. That's right. That's Steve. He's a lazy SOB, isn't he?
I think he had a mental breakdown or something. I don't know. It's like, just get off your ass and finish the movie. It's freaking hilarious. What the hell's going on?
Amber seems to have disappeared, Rocco.
My prayers have been answered.
I'm telling you, we got us some gremlins here tonight. Were you in that movie?
Yeah, actually, I was in Gremlins too. I was in the genetics lab. I was the guy I think they cut my part after Christopher Lee collects that tissue with all the boogers and germs on it. He hands it to me and I walk off. They cut it though. They cut it. They said we don't need that part. I was like, yes, you do. I'm in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Rocco.
Hey, my pleasure. You know.
You have a great week, and maybe Amber will be back.
Well, you tell Amber. I says, what the hell? You're leaving me high and dry here.
You must have just bored her to tears. Bored her to tears,
I think I
Rocco.
shocked her into non-existence or something. I don't know.
Oh,
right.
and she's
I'm gonna
back.
go.
There she is.
Is he still here?
Where the hell you been?
Hi, Rocco.
They left me talking to Russell. What do you think this is?
I don't know what happened. Did I miss anything important?
What? Everything's important.
We were talking about we were talking about the movie that you're in that Steve is being lazy on.
Yeah, Death's a Bitch. It's a hilarious movie. I myself, I portray. Actually, I'm a film producer. Darius Damiani. He's a good guy. You know, a little misunderstood, but hey.
Any roles for me?
There will be in the movie that I'm writing. Let me tell you.
All right. I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be hilarious.
So, Rocco, what is December like in your life? What do you have planned for the upcoming month?
Well, you know me and Christmas decorating. I love to do it. It's sort of my thing.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm going to go crazy with that as much as I can. Got to buy some crap for some people. You got to wrap it up, too. Put it under a tree.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't know. I want to go to some parties, have a party, whatever. Because we're all going to be in quarantine again anyway.
You know, that's not going to surprise me. That's not going to surprise me. But we still have Amber Live every Sunday night with me and Rocco Zamboni.
That's right. The best thing that happened to the pandemic, right?
That's right, Rocco. We'll see you next Sunday night.
Yes, you will.
All right. Thank you. All right. And let's bring Jack back in.
Here I am again.
Yes, Jack. All right. Oh, I love your pin. You got an Amber Chat pin there, the Amber Screw. Yes, very good. If you join us on Wednesday night, you too could have an Amber Screw pin. Amber's Crew. And I got to make sure I distinguish that. Amber's Crew. Yeah. So, Russell, let's show that picture one more time. And Jack, tell us if we have any people watching.
We have a ton of comments from Stop Don't run me down! From Josh to Kim, who says, no! And I've got one from Gary, who says, I dare you to take one more step. Josh again, stop, you catnapper. And Leah, who says that this another Wednesday in Newfoundland, blustery enough to blow the cat across the yard. Cousin Craig, who says, how many times do I have to tell you to knock?
I like that is funny.
And I've got Janet, who said, don't cry for me, Argentina.
Well, I was hoping someone would say midnight.
Oh, yeah, I was hoping for a memories quote there. But that's what I got for tonight.
All right, very good. Thank you very much for joining and adding to the hilarity and frivolity of Amber Live. Russell, come on in.
Hello.
Russell, we've had some technical glitches tonight, but that's live broadcasting.
Yep, you just keep it going.
That's it. Jump in and redo it. All right. So thank you so much. So what do we have for next week, Russell?
Oh my goodness! Next week we have a great show that I think you're really going to love.
I hope so.
We have Madam Ivy Drip coming on, who is a drag queen from Calgary. So we're going international next week, and then we have a baseball player. We have Kieran Lovegrove coming next week to talk with you about his experience. He's doing it. Yep.
I mentioned him in my headlines several weeks ago about him being one of the few out baseball players, and that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So that will be interesting, and I'm sure Cousin Craig will be watching that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
So,
great.
A
drag queen
not to watch.
A drag queen and
Yes.
an out baseball player. Oh, that's gonna be a fun
So
show.
basically, it'll be the third week in a row with sweaty balls.
Well, Rocco's not gonna like that.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Russell. Great show tonight. Jack, thank you very much for being a guest and our comptroller there. Yes, very good. Thank you very much. All right. Whoa. James Lantz, fascinating. What a story to tell and stories he's told. Jack, great job on Sweaty Balls. Check that out on our YouTube channel. You're going to want to see it and share it, please. And we're here every Sunday night, as you heard. Got a great show coming up. And Wednesday, Amber Chat. So stick around. We're going to be here. Hope you will be too. Bye-bye.
Hey, we got some fan mail. We did? What does it say? It says you guys are my favorite part of the show because when I see you, I know that it's over.